Republic 2, Fallout New Vegas, and both Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2. I think Pillars of Eternity 2 is still in development, if I'm not mistaken. But Pillars of Eternity is the game that Jason actually covers in his book, Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, about Obsidian and its indie development process. Because Obsidian's still an indie studio, so if they're acquired by Microsoft, they will officially be a first-party Microsoft studio. Now, this is the fun thing I thought about. What if Playground Games is not developing the new Fable? I know they're reportedly developing a new open-world RPG. What if they put Obsidian on Fable? I was thinking about their experience with RPGs, man. Holy crap, I think they would be the prime candidates to develop the next Fable.
Maybe.
Part of me almost wishes that's exactly what's happening, and then maybe Playground's doing something else.
Yeah, another car game.
Yeah. A ancient car game? Or maybe,
back in the old days.
Yeah, we're going to do the what was that first car called? The Ford Motor Car or something? The Ford. It's a specific name, but maybe it'll be the first cars ever made.
You work in the factory of the very first car.
Sounds so cool, dude.
Yeah. Sick. You get to experience what labor used to be like. Working long 18-hour shifts.
Sounds thrilling. I hope it's very simulation-like, too. I hope it's as realistic, because they thrive in simulation. I hope it's as realistic as possible.
Yeah.
Make your 2 cents a day and spend it on maybe a banana or a popsicle after work.
Yeah.
So
go home and feed the family and go back
read the
next
newspaper.
day. Oh, yeah.
Listen to the radio.
Oh, yeah. Have your coffee.
Oh, what a life. That's the thing, they didn't know any better. They probably had the time of their lives sometimes.
Oh, yeah. A lot of walking.
Where are the video games?
Yeah, for real.
I think about that if I got trapped in a time period before my own.
Better have my Switch, you know?
Yeah, better brought that Switch and that time travel with you.
Oh, yeah.
Be doomed without it.
That's when I would play my Switch.
If you had to be trapped in any decade of the last 100 years, let's say 20th century, in between the 20th century and the 21st century, what decade would you want to be stuck in? I think I'd go with the 80s. Because I think the 80s were the happiest the nation has ever been.
Would I go back to, like, I'm me now? Like, I don't go back in time?
Yeah, you get stuck in a decade of the 20th century for the rest of your life.
So it's just, okay, so me like how I am now.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably the 80s.
Yeah. Because I think the 80s are just revered so highly by just so many people.
I mean, it's after the war. You wouldn't want to be there for the war, obviously.
That's the thing, because I think it was in between. It was in between like Vietnam and when stuff started picking up in the Middle East and everything. Yeah. So I think it's been always when the United States as a whole was just happiest. Yeah. There's rock and roll. There's just
we're in this period now, but we're not as happy.
Correct. I mean, the nation's divided in many ways. It was when everyone was just kind of. I mean, there's always been division in every nation, but I feel like overall it was the happiest the nation has ever been, and I'd like to experience that. Yeah. So if I had to be stuck, going with the 80s. There's video games in the 80s, very few and far between. But
the baby boom generation.
Yeah, a lot of great music. I think I was just mostly on board for the music and the movies too. I imagine seeing a lot of those movies in theaters in the 80s.
Yeah, I definitely would have seen like all those bands perform like live back in the day. Like AC/DC, that would have been so cool, man. I'm sure those shows were quite the experience.
Motley Crue.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's way too many to name.
Yeah, there's countless. Anyway, yeah, I go for the 80s. Anyway, Obsidian, I hope they're developing Fable. That'd be so cool.
Oh, yeah. I'm right there with you, dude.
That'd be so sick, man. Speaking of medieval RPGs, the Witcher TV show on Netflix has cast Ciri and Yennefer officially, and I have their pictures to show you, Jacob.
I've seen them.
I'll read this little blurb, and then we'll kind of talk about it. So, this comes from James Whitbrook of Gizmodo. Quote, now we know who's just behind two crucial figures in the Witcher television series. Netflix has confirmed the actors who will bring Ciri and Yennefer to life in its new fantasy epic. Unveiled through a new interview with the Hollywood Reporter showrunner Lauren Schmidt, Histrich said Freya Allen, Into the Badlands, and Anya Kalotra from Wonderlust will join Henry Cavill's Geralt of Rivia as Ciri and Yennefer of Venderberg, respectively. Here they are. If you guys haven't seen them online, you can Google it really quickly and look them up. But this is why it was something I thought was weird. Now, Ciri, sure, that girl looks like she could be a young Ciri.
Fine.
And this girl looks like she could be Yennefer, sure. But you know what's weird?
What?
As the girl who's playing Yennefer, does she not look like she's 15 years old?
Yeah, I think they're supposed to look younger.
But that's what's weird, is that Geralt and Yennefer have a very provocative relationship. She looks like she's 14.
I don't know.
And Henry Cavill clearly looks like he's in his mid-30s at the very least.
Do you know how old she is?
I didn't look it up, but she may just have one of those young faces. It's going to throw me off if they're real raunchy in this show and she looks like she's 15.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know.
I don't know, but of
I
course,
think she looks great.
yeah, they look like they can play the parts,
Yeah.
totally. And I know looks aren't everything. It really comes down to if you can play the character and portray the character properly.
Right.
But, I mean, looks are definitely a part of it,
Yeah,
for sure.
well, I mean, you need to look like
Because
the
this is how
characters,
everyone
right?
recognizes them.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I have no problem with who they cast, really. I
yeah,
think
that's
it's
cool. But I'm
good
glad to see
finds.
things are moving along for the show because I really want this to come as soon as possible. I'm very
Exactly,
excited
yeah.
to see what it's
And
going to be.
I'm not
like.
really sure, like, with any of their previous work, I haven't ever seen them in anything. So.
Right.
All I'm going off of is if they look close to the parts, and yeah, they do.
So I tossed that into the news in a weird spot. I wish I had put that toward the end because we have more Xbox news to discuss.
But also, I mean, makeup and costume can do a lot to make someone
It
look
can,
different.
yeah.
So.
I mean, again, these are just literal headshots of these actresses, so
Yeah.
I'm sure it can come a long way.
hmm
I am pumped to see it.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be cool. This comes from Isaac Monteros of COD Connected. This has to do with Xbox new xCloud project. Project xCloud. This is pretty gnarly. It says, quote, a new Xbox streaming service called Project xCloud was officially announced on Monday. The upcoming service aims to allow its users to stream Xbox games on any device of their choosing, according to Microsoft. They say today the games you play are very much dictated by the device you're using, said Kareem Chowdhury. How would you say that? Chowdhury?
Where's that?
Right there, Kareem Chowdhury. Chowdhury. That sounds about right. A Microsoft executive in an official announcement, Project xCloud's state-of-the-art global game streaming technology will offer you the freedom to play on the device you want without being locked on a particular device, empowering you, the gamers, to be at the center of your gaming experience. According to Chowdhury, current and future Xbox games will be compatible with Project xCloud with no additional work required on the part of the game developers. For those who don't want to play with an Xbox One controller or keyboard, side note, I think you're insane if you don't want to play with either of those things. The service will have an optional touch input controls with a new game-specific touch input overlay. Project xCloud will be supported by data centers that are located in 54 Azure regions and service 140 countries. Also, the streaming service will work on both 4G and 5G data networks. That is a pretty spectacular idea, very ambitious.
It just harkens back to that whole idea that multiple people in the industry think that streaming is the future of the space, and it might be. It might very well be. Those people are much smarter than I am.
Yeah,
so.
but Xbox definitely seems to be at the forefront of that at the moment.
Yeah, this is a big project, and I'm excited to see, kind of where it goes to in the next couple months and years.
I would like to play Red Dead on my iPhone.
Yeah.
Not really, but
So what would you use?
that's something you could say.
Yeah, what would you use, like the touchpads, or would you like kind of sync a controller if you could? Wouldn't that be so cool?
If I'm being honest, I have no I mean, I'll play anything on Switch.
But what if it like looked pretty decent? Like somehow it just ran well. Like, would you use a controller?
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I've never wanted to play anything not on keyboard or controller. Like I've never enjoyed touch controls where a game demands more than that.
Let me tell you about Hogwarts Mystery. So it's this great game.
Oh, really?
No, I actually stopped playing it. You
Finally,
should
it's
be
a
proud of
miracle.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, at least
It's
we
still on
have,
my phone, but I haven't touched it in a week. So I'm very happy.
I'm proud of you.
I feel
for that,
like
Jacob.
a better man because of it.
I'm sure. I bet you feel a little liberated.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a little more self-respect now.
I do. Yeah.
That's good. Glad to
Man,
hear
I've
it.
been much more happy too. So.
That's good. What are
It
you
was
gonna-
really bringing me
What are you
down.
gonna blow your steam off on now? Blackout, I guess.
Blackout. No,
Cool.
let's get pissed again.
Yeah. I'm so looking forward to playing that with you, Jacob.
Mhm.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
So, more Xbox. This has to do with Gears 5. I was going to read it, but I'm just going to keep it brief because it's a long article. But
Okay.
it comes from Mario Brash of COD Connected. Rod Ferguson, studio head of the Coalition, states that they're going to make changes to the gameplay and storytelling experience in Gears 5. Now, from what they revealed at E3, it doesn't look that way yet. But they claim that Gears 4 was almost a testing of the waters for the Coalition, as they had acquired Gears from Epic Games, obviously. Now, Rod Ferguson was involved with the original trilogy, and he became the studio head of the Coalition, where they exclusively developed Gears of War. So the studio as a whole was pretty brand new to the franchise, so they played it safe, and it definitely felt that way when I played through the campaign. That's why the campaign is pretty forgettable in my mind. And even gameplay-wise, it didn't blow my mind at all. It just felt like good old-fashioned Gears. Now, Gears gameplay is super solid. I wouldn't even say it feels dated. It just doesn't feel fresh anymore. It's just been there, done that many times now. Including, what was that spin-off title called? Gears Judgment Day. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
Gears of War Judgment, whatever it's called.
I think it was just Judgment.
So 4 games of Gears, or 5 now with Gears 4, I was over it at that point. It was kind of a struggle for me to get through the campaign. I took longer to get through it than I probably would have had it been new.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of weird with Gears because, like, there's a big fan base of Gears, obviously. Like, and they like the way that it is.
Yeah.
But I feel like the franchise also needs, like, something to be, reinventive to make it more exciting towards the mass media.
I'm hoping the success of God of War is a huge inspiration for every studio that's developing their 4th or 5th game in a franchise. And I'm hoping the Coalition, I don't know if it's directly inspired by the success of God of War, maybe that could be a part of it, but obviously Gears 5 has been in development for many years now. So I would assume that was probably an organic decision to begin with, but I'm hoping people see what God of War did with the reboot, and I hope they have the courage to apply that to their own franchises, because I think Gears is, obviously everyone knows this, is in desperate need of not really a reboot, but definitely some fresh gameplay mechanics. And
I think they should pull a Call of Duty. I think they should make it a BR. Honestly, dude, I think Gears could be cool as a BR.
It could. If that's the thing. You know what's funny is that I hope, you know what would make a big difference?
Mm-hmm.
That is so simple, is just make the shotgun a power weapon that you have to pick up.
Yeah.
That shotgun is so effing... Now, I get that hardcore Gears fans would be furious if they did. They'd be absolutely furious.
Mm-hmm.
And to an extent, I get that, because that's what Gears has been since the beginning. It's just a shotgun fest online. And it's always bummed me out because the core concept has always been a cover-based third-person shooter, and the campaign, it thrives that way. And the closest they ever got was Gears 3, because they increased the damage output of the Lancer, the main assault rifle. So Preston and I had a field day with the Lancer in Gears of War 3's multiplayer. And if they could make it... Because Gears 4, again, it's a shotgun fest. Now, I don't totally hate that, because that can be fun for about 5 minutes for me.
Yeah.
And I've had some success engaging in the shotgun fest, but I've always wanted it to, the multiplayer experience, to be as solid as the campaign, where you have to take cover and shoot at each other. It just makes it far more interesting to me, and actually figure out how to flank your enemies online. That just makes it so much more exciting.
Yeah.
So I think that change alone could change the core gameplay, the moment-to-moment gameplay experience radically if they did that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's something they've discussed in the past, but whether they do that or not is still yet to be determined.
I don't know if that's like one of those changes that brings more people in, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying it would bring more people in. I'm just saying I think it would make
help
gameplay,
you enjoy the game more.
Yeah, but it would also, like I said, radically change gameplay. That simple thing literally changes everything, because you can't just rush people anymore.
Yeah.
So I hope that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Probably won't be, but I hope it is. And I don't know what else to think, because again, I'm not a game developer. I don't have any ideas for Gears, but I'm glad that that's what they're saying in these interviews. So I hope what they're stating is cool.
Yeah.
I hope whatever they're changing is good.
Yeah. I've never been into Gears. I don't know why. Just the big hulking guys with the chainsaw just never intrigued me.
It's too masculine for you, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Too much testosterone, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's just like, come on. Ease up, man.
I've always been I was a big fan of the original trilogy, of course. It was actually Gears 1 that made me beg my parents for a 360 back in the day. So I'd have never been an Xbox gamer had it not been for Gears. That first trailer, man, Mad World, hooked me. So I've always had great trailers. Even Gears 4 had good trailers. With the
They do have good trailers. I did like Gears 4 trailer. Gears 4's trailer.
the Sound of Silence cover by Disturbed.
Yeah.
That was cool. So hopefully Gears 5 is another killer trailer.
I think it was also Halo that had a good one. Was it that year or the year before? I don't know. Did they come out the same year?
Halo 5 had a really great marketing campaign, and the campaign fell so flat.
The game campaign, yeah.
Holy crap, it fell flat. What was it?
It feels like that game came out so long
It's
ago.
so dumb, I've forgotten how it even played out. I was just so annoyed. I kind of remember now, but it was so stupid. Man, it was bad. And the trailers were so cool.
Yeah, it was the whole Chief first lock.
Yeah, that could have been amazing, but they effing blew it.
Yeah, that was over really quick, wasn't it?
It was, man. Hopefully they address that in Infinite, whatever they're doing. Anyway, Red Dead Redemption 2 is in our immediate future, Jacob. We're all losing our minds, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And
I'm excited.
All these little tweets have everyone pooping and peeing their pants. And the latest has to do with the weapon upgrades, which it's so brief. I thought it was so cool to talk about.
Sure.
Rockstar tweeted, "Weapon choice and customization in Red Dead Redemption. From visual upgrades like new metals, woods, varnishes, and engravings to performance upgrades like new barrels, grips, sights, and scopes, design an entirely unique weapon that looks and handles exactly the way you want.
Oh, baby.
That is so badass.
Give me all the stuff.
I am so excited for that. Look how cool this outfit looks, too, that he's wearing.
That's cool. I like his bandana. And its silencer. Is that a silencer? No, it's not. That's a revolver.
I think if they're going to be authentic as they're making this game out to be, I highly doubt there will be suppressors on any guns. Unless there were suppressors at this time period, and I'm totally unaware of that.
Just threw me off.
Yeah, but regardless, that tweet sounds awesome. And now there was a headline that took off for a day, and then it was sort of addressed by other people who have played the game that it was a little misunderstood. Originally, it said that if you turn off the in-game compass, players will give you more direction on where to go, which I think is pretty cool. Similar to what they're doing in what game we were literally just playing where they do that.
Is it
Assassin's Creed. Yeah, exploration mode. You have to really pay attention to what people say. You can ask them in conversation, give me some hints about where I can find this person to this thing.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you.
That's what they do in like WoW questing, but it's like text-based.
Yeah. But according to media people that kind of clarified this, they said whether you have the compass on or not, people will give you the same amount of directions. So if you want to have that more immersive experience, if you have the time to invest, I certainly don't, unfortunately.
It's a little hardcore for me.
Yeah. I love that idea, though. I love that that's an option. Or if I'm going to turn off my compass, I have to pay attention to exactly what you're saying to me. And as if I was really out here, I have to go find what they're describing. So I think that's cool.
I feel like you need it. Like, your character would have a compass, though. Like, that's the thing. It's like he would never know how to get anywhere. Unless you just knew how to get around
That's
the area.
true. I just think like icons in the mini map that would reveal
I know what
certain
you mean.
things.
I'm just like thinking realistically. Like that guy has to have a compass.
Yeah.
Unless
So
he just knows everything in the map.
that's awesome, though. I'm so excited. We are so close.
Like,
Cannot believe
so
how close we are. I
Is
can
it?
taste it.
When is it?
26th,
So we'll have one more podcast, right?
I think.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
One more podcast. It's exciting.
That's going to be a big one when we
Wait.
talk about that. 26
Yes.
might be like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
2 Fridays from now.
Okay. Holy crap.
I know.
Anyway, you want to jump
Everything
in?
else is gonna like stop in life. I'm just gonna be playing Red Dead.
Yeah. I'm sorry if you guys hear me blowing out my nose. My nose is so stuffed that I'm actually horrified.
You should like pour that water down your nose. to
I actually
wash out your
used
system.
my sinus wash or my like nasal neti pot thing
That's
earlier.
disgusting.
It didn't change anything. I kid you not, Jacob. My nose is reverted back to what it was before. I'm gonna have to have that surgery again.
It's a good investment you made.
Awful investment.
Mhm.
And that's just funny. In my gut, I knew it was a waste of time.
So you're gonna do it again?
I've heard people, Jacob, until it gets right, you have to do it like the worst I've heard is 5 times.
Oh my god.
At best, two to 3. So I'm probably gonna have to have it again.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's a shame.
man.
But now that I've had it once, I'm not that worried about it. It's whatever. Because before I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to operate on my face. But nowadays it's whatever. But yeah, I can't breathe at all through my nose. It's awful. And it isn't like an allergy thing. It's a physical thing. My nose is physically closed inside.
Wonder if you like
Because
talk different.
my deviated septum.
Yeah. What if you like speak different when you come out next time?
I might. Voice might change a bit
Sound
again.
cleaner. I don't know.
I
I
definitely...
mean, your voice sounds great. Obviously, everyone always tells you
my
your voice
nose
is great.
just has so much pressure in it, dude. I feel like I've been punched. It's awful.
Yeah. Do you have like headaches all the time? Because of
No,
it?
it's just I can't breathe. It's
just
awful.
nose. Okay.
I'm a mouth breather. I'm a literal mouth breather.
That sucks.
It's awful.
Yeah, I try to breathe through my nose because like the proper way to breathe is breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth.
Right.
So I try to do that as often as I can. Like when I'm just at my house, I'll just breathe through my in and out my nose, and I guess I kind of take that for granted.
Yeah, it's truly terrible.
The only time I'm like a heavy mouth breather is when I'm like, I'm heaving or I'm at the gym
That
or
or
something.
like a bad cold or something.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I kind of take that for granted, I guess.
anyway, Jacob, you want to move into some community questions?
Yeah, dude, let's do it.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for continuing to supply this podcast and Ask IOG with your community questions. They are always a doozy, always a good time. We never know what to expect, and we have a nice mix and match of random questions and video game related questions this episode, Jacob.
Nice.
Pulling from some of our old archives of questions we've garnered over the last 2 years nearly, which is crazy to think about. So we appreciate you guys sending them our way. Again, we're going to try to do Ask IOG again this week. I think it'd be awesome if we could.
Mm-hmm.
But again, just want to throw that Ask IOG episode 7 is out there and available if you haven't heard it yet.
And please listen and give us some feedback, please.
Yeah, and you can hear questions just like these ones we're about to read.
And ask more questions. That's another place you can ask questions.
Absolutely. Now, if you want your questions read on the show or Ask IOG, you can reach us in one of 3 places. You can email us at itsobviousgaming@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at obvious_gaming, or submit your questions in the Ask IOG section on our Discord channel. Now, always include the hashtag AskIOG if you want your question read on the show, so that we don't accidentally read your community questions or your private messages on air. That would be awful. All that out of the way, Jacob, let's answer Fribe's question first.
Yes, please.
Fribe says, what does Jacob collect?
What do I collect? Oh, he asked this on Discord. I've collected, quite a few things throughout my whole life.